There we go. My bad. Yeah, my mic was muted. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for letting me know. Not quite sure what happened, but hey, let me go ahead and redo my intro. What's up, everybody? Actually, hold on. Let me hop back into full screen. All right, there we go. What's up, everybody? Jordan here with J Angel Visuals. I'm so sorry for the audio mix-up. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go into this music video edit. That way we can kind of go ahead and just have kind of fun with it. We're gonna go ahead and go over some color grading, maybe some visual effects, and some like hype edits. This was a story-driven video, but we're gonna kind of take that away and just have fun with it. Kind of go from there. What's up? How you guys doing? My bad. I'm trying to get chat open up that way I can go ahead and see what you guys are saying. Give me 1 second. How's everyone's night going, by the way? Let's get this back into our editing. There we go. All right, there we go. And hopefully, yeah, cool. Microphone's working. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. Like I said, lots of story-driven stuff, so I'm going to kind of speed through this part and just kind of delete this out of the project. Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so let's get these out of here. Let's go ahead and delete. This is also a scene. Dev Patel, Dave Patel, and Nishant Nath. How you guys doing tonight? Let's see. Do you guys edit in DaVinci Resolve too? Let's see. We'll keep this. We'll kind of keep a little bit of story as far as like maybe like just like the actions, but we're not gonna like. The original video was like audio, and we had to do like a bunch of like talking bits, you know. Not fun. Sick. But yeah, this one we can kind of get. It was kind of like the town inspired. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Fake guns, fake truck, fake robbery. It was a really cool shoot. Let's see. We can get rid of this because that is some dialogue stuff. Cool. And then I think. Alright, cool. Yeah, we got this. Alright, tight. So we kind of got our stuff together. So let's go ahead and actually get this organized real quick. I need to figure out where our performance shots are, where our slow motion is, all of that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and actually just go through this real quick. Let's go ahead and make a couple of folders. Let's do B-roll. New bin. Let's do performance. And then we'll do another one. Let's see, we'll say story, I guess, so that way we can kind of say, like, I don't know, like all like the little bits that kind of like piece it together, you know? Let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and separate all these. So what? That's a story. Let's just grab all the stories real quick. This is going to be any action where they're kind of doing their thing. Shit, this one dude almost broke his ankle on this shoot. Coming out of this truck. Oh, man. All right, so let's grab all of these. Right. Shot by shot by shot. And I'm not looking for performances right now, only these story-driven shots. We got performance scenes in the truck. We got like, kind of like, I guess, B-roll. It's not really story-driven, but kind of. We got performance there. That's more of a B-roll. 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 Let's see. All right, so this is all B-roll, nothing story-related wise. That's something I did for like a vertical. Oop, and then I just got rid of all of that shit. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just drag these in separately. Let's see. So what? Story. 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 There we go. And so with projects, I mean, like the most important thing I can ever recommend is just be organized from the start. That way you don't have to really like backtrack and you know where everything is. And that way you don't have to go through all this footage, you know, over and over and over again too, you know. This is story. Let's see, story. I did not mean to unclick that earlier. Just trying to grab these all real quick again. Since there's so many. Story, we're just going ahead and drop it like that in the segment. And then let's grab, what, story? Let's get these performances. Let's grab all these performances real quick. I don't think there's that many. Let's see. That's some story shit we could actually take out. Some B-roll. This is a performance. Oops. And of course, messing this up, man. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Let's just, man. All right, performance. Come on. Just one by one so I don't mess up the, you know what I'm saying? The thing. Performance. Story. B-roll. 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 This is all going to be our filler footage. That way we can go ahead and actually, you know, keep it hype, keep it interesting throughout the edit, because you don't want like a bunch of performances back to back to back. You need something as far as like entertainment, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to have just a music video with just a bunch of performances, bunch of same angles. It's not a cool thing. Let's see, so what, B-roll? Let's get rid of these ones out of the project completely. This is all kind of story. That's B-roll though. Story. What, B-roll, so we can grab a bunch of these real quick. B-roll performance, performance. B-roll. I think I could have grabbed that B-roll, but let's just grab this anyways. Grab these performances. Let's not get greedy and ruin our click again, you know. Let's see. All right, so what's performance? Story, B-roll, story. All right. So what? Story, B-roll, and then we got what? Story again. All right, tight. So that's out the way. Let's go ahead and actually go grab our song, drop it into our performance. So we're gonna try something here. I'm not too familiar with like multicam workflows, but we're gonna go ahead and try to get out of our comfort zone tonight and do something multicam. Hopefully, this is all synced. I was just learning how to do this, so we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and do this. Multicam sequence. I don't think the name matters really, but we're gonna go ahead and just name this performance. Yeah, multicam. Multicam. There we go. What? Sequential audio source channels. Create. What do we have to do? Right click, create new timeline using selected clips. Switch to multi. How do I do this, man? See, I should have watched more of this stuff. Let's just go ahead and not do this. I feel like I'm gonna mess this up. Let's just go ahead and take this out into my normal way of doing this, since there's not that many performance scenes anyway, and that way we can kind of keep this just consistent and flowing, and that way I'm not just, you know, all over the place. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and actually match up all of our shots, or should we? Let's do some color first. I honestly feel like I need to get like the vibes right first before we hop into this. So let's go ahead and actually hop into this scene here. Hop into the color page. Nice, nice, nice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. If you go into File, Project Settings, and then from here though, Color Management, I am working in a color managed DaVinci YRGB color managed workspace, and then that way I can go ahead and just kind of keep everything manageable. What you can do with this here, because obviously like if we look at the footage, it's still in log. This is shot on a Sony a7S III in S-Log. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of select all of these, right click this, and then from here though I'm going to go ahead and select my camera. I can go into Input Color Space, and then from here I can find my Sony, and then do my S-Gamut 3 Cine Log 3. And then that's going to kind of put it more into a Rec 709 because the flow itself recognizes this, and I'll be able to see more of like a balanced look. Obviously these shots are kind of overexposed. I mean, not too bad, but just a little bright. All right, let's see. Let's find a hero shot in here real quick that looks cool, where it has like all the factors. I like that here. Alright, let's go ahead and actually take this. So first things first, I'm going to lower the exposure. I mean, obviously it's just way too bright. Let's go ahead and drag this. I'm working in my high dynamic range HDR panel here with the global slider for the exposure. Just a balanced slider. I like it more than just the primaries global. This one here, the offset and gain and stuff like that, I just like this HDR global. It kind of takes it as like a more even approach. And then also, if we weren't working in a YRGB color space managed area, you can come into here and actually select your color space and gamma for your specific camera too, and then that way it will adjust kind of more properly to that camera's dynamic range and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But like I said, drop that exposure real quick. We're going to try to make this dramatic. Take the pinch way out. Then from there, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of contrast. I want to make this really dramatic. I'm about to make this like way different than I did with my other version of this, where it was like more so like just like a story. I mean, it was kind of cool. I'll have to show you guys another time. It's on the channel too. If you guys check out my actual finished videos, you'll see that too. So we got contrast. We got some global exposure kind of stuff going on here. Next little trick I like to do is like kind of like a color overhaul. If you come into here into your RGB mixer, you can click these things at the top. It's going to go ahead and do like it's like some kind of auto adjustment, so that way without it on, if we move our blues for instance, it's going to just move our blues. But if we turn this on, let's reset this, if we turn it on, then if we move our blues, it kind of moves everything equally to balance out to a different thing. This is what I like to do to like I said, a color overhaul, something you can do to change specific tones. I know, like, I can't even tell you how many situations I've been in as far as like shooting goes, and I'm coloring and I'm like looking at something like the hues of the blues. I don't like the hues of the blues. I like more of like a cyan look, you know. But what makes this easy, let's say we switch the blues and we start dragging this, you can see how it slightly changes everything. You know, you see like the change in his face, you see the change in the sky, but most of this can be corrected. We're just looking at subtle changes in order to push a different look into the film. That way when we start color grading, we'll get like a different flow to it all, you know. But I'm looking at skin tones. I mean, obviously I want that to be kind of taken care of. We're not doing too much, but just enough to kind of make it a little poppier, you know, if y'all can see that difference. That's the RGB mixer. It kind of puts it, like I said, brings those blues more cyan, brings a little bit more warm in the greens. And then his skin tone, if we go into our vector scope here, we can kind of check to see what his skin tones are looking like. And it's not too bad. I mean, just a little bit on the green side, or red side probably, yeah, red side I think. So we can go into here, we can actually, let's see, let's just target the skin tones probably. Let's see, we're going to go into our qualifier here. select our stuff. We're getting like quite the selection. We're gonna go ahead and take this way down, and we're just looking to grab as many of those oranges as possible. So I got my mic like right in front of my screen too, so you know, good audio for you guys, bad view for me, you know. Let me get this other chat up here too, just in case. By the way, we got 10 people in here right now. How's everyone's night going so far? Hopefully everyone's having a good time, enjoying a nice Monday night. Let's see. Maybe. Alright, whatever. We'll just leave it like that. Alright, so if you look down here at the vector scope, like I said, you can see where we're looking like as far as like the actual tones. So what we can do is shift this. We want that to kind of be right on the line. Turn this off. Let's see. Get out of full screen, then turn this on and off. Let's turn off the highlight. Yeah, so we see we're taking out that punch out real quick. You can kind of see all that red in his face, and we're just taking that out to kind of neutralize that. And so far, this is what we're looking like color-wise. So nothing too crazy, but gives us like a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit of a look. It's looking nice. All right, one thing I also like to do towards my grades, I like to do some glow. So let's go ahead and come into here. We search glow. Let's turn this monitor volume down too, so that way y'all aren't hearing a bunch of sounds doubling up and stuff. Let's see. Alright, so like I said, I love glow. If we come into here, I like this soft light. There we go. Obviously it's super dark, so we can change this shine threshold here. And what this is going to do is like kind of like make our darks and lights kind of react more naturally. This kind of gives like a natural contrast boost. But also gives you like that softness. But you see how like in the truck now, like rather than just being able to see it deeply inside it, you can like, you know, it kind of makes it dark, like actual dark, you know. So like old film had blacks, you know what I'm saying? Like it was actually dark, not just to the point where you could see everything. So we have that. Let's tight. What else do I want to do here? Highlights are looking pretty good, but I think if we come into here, let's go ahead and just grab a little bit more highlight recovery. If you come into here on the HDR panels, I like to go into the very first node for this. If you hit Shift H, click your thing over here as far as like the highlights goes, and we can manage and change what's being affected. So it looks like the truck, I don't like the face a little bit, whatever's going on, so we're going to go ahead and incorporate that too. And then from there though, we can drag that highlight down just a bit. There we go. Just takes the punch out of it, and that way we kind of get more of a crispier look. Let's see, let's go back into here, drag this so we can see all of our stuff. So this is the shot we're looking like. It's pretty clean. I think it could be cleaner though. Alright, so let's see what we could do. So what we got, kind of crazy movement. So like, I mean, a depth tracker like a magic mask might not work too well. Let's see, what else don't I like about the shot? I think it just doesn't draw, it draws too much attention towards the side of this. I think if I, well, let's see if we can get away with just like a little like, just one of these, you know? Add like a nice little thing. Ecliptic Monarch, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you, sir, for this masterpiece. You are a motivation for me. Hope the best for you. Hey, thank you so much, man. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. Have you seen this video before, or did you get a chance to watch that music video tutorial I did? Hopefully it was helpful. Let's see, let's grab this. We're going to invert this. You can kind of see what this looks like. So we come here, we're going to go ahead and make this bigger, make it softer. And then from here, though, if we go into our primaries, we can drag this down. We don't want to crush like the blues too much, like you can kind of see in the sky up here. Let's zoom in, there we go. So you can kind of see, I mean, obviously it's here on our waveform too, you know, so it's not crushed, but we don't want to like, you know, make it look unrealistic necessarily. But this will help draw just a little bit more attention towards our center of focus as our artist. One thing I also like to do sometimes, depending on the shot, is you can kind of come into here and you can add like a blur with this, and then it kind of gives you like a little bit of a, you know, I don't know, out of focus look. Obviously we won't do it too crazy, we'll drag it back a little bit bring this up, drag the blur down a bit, but it kind of gives us a little bit more of like a focus on the artist again, and just like I said, makes it poppier. And then from there, if you wanted to, you could always add like an outside node, increase the brightness and get that middle brighter, but since we're outside daytime, I don't think it's necessary. Alright, tight, that's hard. Alright, cool. I think I still want to change the blues a little bit more. Let's see, so we come into here, we have our channel mixer. We're gonna go ahead and this is our skin tones. We're gonna go ahead and take another here node. So we're gonna add a parallel. You can hit Alt P or right click and then do it. We are going to check these blues real quick. So if we come into here, we're gonna go ahead and go into our hue versus hue. And we're gonna grab the blues. Take this just so that way it's like very, very wide. Like I said, sorry, I got this microphone right in front of my screen too, so I gotta keep ducking and diving and shit. Alright, so we're gonna push this more into the blues. It's getting a little too saturated though for my taste. If we come into the vector scope, we can kind of see it. I mean, it's not crazy, but then the oranges aren't pushed too much either, but that kind of gives us more range to push the oranges. What I'm going to do, let's see, let's go ahead and add another node before this. Let's clean this up. Let's just get rid of this real quick. Drag this window over so we can get more of a view. I don't know what this is doing. Let's just take this off. So we got our parallels just all mixed up and stuff. Let's add a node here. Let's go ahead and see if we can introduce more oranges into the midtones. That's kind of going to balance us out though and take away the blues, but then it kind of puts us more in a balance realm, and then we can kind of like open it up from here. So right now I'm looking at the shadows, looking at him. This is pushing it really warm as far as like the highlights go. So I'm going to actually take back the red a bit out of those highlights. And we start to get, you know what I'm saying, like a nice little like kind of color grade. So like you can kind of see how like this is compounding, right? So if we take what we had into what we have now, it's like, you know, building into a look. Also we can kind of come into here and see what we're looking like. So we got detail. Doesn't look like too much grain is in here. So we could add grain in post, or we can keep it kind of the clean video look, you know. It kind of depends on the taste, depends on the flavor, and it depends on, I guess, the video and the story you're trying to tell. But outside of that, I think it looks good. Oranges are kind of saturated now, so let's go ahead and actually take that down just a bit more. I need this one. And forgive me, I did not organize my nodes, so it looks a little crazy. But that looks good, though. That looks good. And actually, I wonder, because I push up, yeah, so I don't know if there's going to be a way to, like, hide the ground or, like, you know, make it darker or anything, so whatever. But we can go ahead and actually copy this grade over to our other outdoor clips. Of course, like, when we look at these, this one was, like, really, really, really bright direct sun, whereas this is, like, I mean, it's still bright direct sun, but now it's more so backlit. So now it's more so trying to figure out how we can, you know, kind of match this shot. So let's go ahead and select this, go into selected clips, and right away we can see that this other clip is like very desaturated, not much color in it, and that's going to make it a little less interesting. But then we can also kind of go through here and check our nodes, just make sure that we're not crushing anything. I mean, like the contrast is a little bit crazy, so let's go ahead and actually adjust this and pivot a little bit more this way. Go back into our waveform. And we can see that we're getting like a lot more like clipped highlights and stuff, you know. Let's go ahead and take this back. There we go. And then actually let's go ahead and on this one, let's go ahead and add another node here. And I'll kind of label these two just so that way we can kind of see what we're doing. So label, we're going to go ahead and call this highlights. There we go. Spelled out all crazy. High lights. Alright, then we got this one, which is our, what is this? Our exposure. Exposure. We got our contrast here, which is a little bit too crazy, I think, for the taste of this scene here. What is this? This is our color. And actually, as you can see, let's go ahead and actually go back into our vector form here. Luckily, since we looked at this before, we can kind of see already that this is like kind of pushed more towards the greenish bluish side, which we can see directly here. I mean, if you're looking at the same shot, I am. whereas this is warmer, this is not. So what we can do is if we come into here where we had our correction, I guess that's just what I'll call it. If we move, let's see, what, probably our offset maybe. No, so we're trying to get this more in the realm of that other shot. It's a little too red, a little too pink, but that's kind of balancing out. I'm looking at the back walls here. It looks like still it's a little bit red, so we can take that down. And I wish I would have had some kind of like bright ass light on the truck. That would have been so nice, but definitely not. Then we can just copy this since obviously it's the same thing. It's super dark here, so we're gonna have to like figure out some sort of correction for this. Let's go ahead and actually mess with our contrast and exposure. We're gonna actually probably just bring up the exposure, but I wonder. All right, so what if we go right when it gets on track, like right here-ish? We can try to make a window. Let's see. Change this. Hop back into here. All right. So let's take this off. Let's try to make a little window around the truck. That way we can kind of like maybe increase the exposure on this, or like maybe we could try a depth map. We're gonna try some things just so that way we can try to get this shot recovered, because it's kind of, you know, it's bright on the outside, dark on the inside, and it's like it's not that good. Let's come into here. We're gonna go ahead and track this mask forward and backwards. Some good old power of DaVinci. Look at that window holding still, man. I'm gonna have to like make it bigger though, because it's obviously down. Damn, the tracking on this is so impressive. I am never disappointed. Let it do its thing. There we go. Yeah, so like with this track here, hopefully we can just increase the exposure, make it a little bit crazier in here, and then from there though we can also create a window on the outside to kind of like decrease the exposure of the outside. Damn, they must have like improved the tracking with this new update or something, because that was pretty good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just come in here. Let's see, let's raise. Let's go back into our waveform. We're gonna raise these highlights. We're gonna go ahead and see what we can actually accomplish. Raise these midtones. And I still have to maintain like a level of contrast, but I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, like bring it out gently, if that makes sense. So let's see, let's go ahead and actually add a nice little soft layer around. Ooh, maybe not. Damn. Yeah, no soft window. Actually, shit. Let's, what? Size, make it smaller. Make it smaller, and then we're gonna go ahead and actually then increase the softness of these just a little bit on all of them. And yeah, hopefully it's not that noticeable. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like though, adding an outside node and dropping this exposure a bit. So with just these two alone, it kind of helps bring out a little bit more into this scene. Not too crazy, but a little bit more. And then from here though, we can look at our vector scope and just see we're like really lacking saturation. Let's go ahead and actually finish this real quick. Label RGB mixer. We'll label this one skin. And this one is what? I forget. Blues. Window. And then we got our glow at the end. Cool. So we got all of that. We'll add the contrast back in, and then we're gonna go ahead and actually mess with the pivot. Now that we have that kind of looking a little different, looking at my saturation, looking at the brightness, and it's looking kind of blue. So let's go ahead and hop back into our, let's see, we need our correction. Yeah, here we go. Correction, we're gonna go ahead and start introducing our colors into the mix. The gimbal work on this was pretty sloppy, I can't lie. Alright, not bad, not bad. It's not my favorite shot though. Like, you can definitely see like the edges of that mask there and stuff. Yeah, not my favorite shot. Let's go ahead and go back in the editing panel. Let's get some stuff lined up real quick. And then that way we can kind of see what we're doing. Let's get this onto our track. And hopefully, I can't remember if this actually had good speakerphone stuff going on. Hey, and we did. That matched up perfect. Tight. Hopefully you guys can hear that too. Let's see. Alright, we're just going to match this up anyways right now. Nope, that's it, nah. Alright, I'll show you guys how to match that manually. I'm guessing this one will not match either since that's the case. Of course not. Alright. Let's see if I can get some headphones on. Get this auto figured out. How's everyone's night going, by the way? It's kind of a quiet chat. Hopefully we could teach some things. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask too. We want to I want to be like as helpful as possible. So if you guys see things that you guys want to know or want me to like kind of like retouch on, let me know. You know, and I can definitely do that for you guys. Let's get this going. I need headphone audio. All right, there we go. That's loud. There we go. All right. All right, so I'm listening for a specific cue. Just listening for that song. Hey, what up, Nun53? How you doing? How's your night going so far? Say that you want, you want. Alright, cool. So I heard that. Say that you want, I want. Alright, let's go ahead and actually go back into this part. I forgot what line I'm looking for. Say that I'm on. There it is. On. Alright, so that should be it. So I like to use markers. Every time you go on this, I like to hit markers. On job watching this. Hey, that's what's up. How's work going? Hopefully it's not, well, I'm guessing it's boring. What do you do for work? That sounds fun. Get some education in, you know what I'm saying, instead of work. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Let's see that is matched. Let's mute this. Hey. Sick. Alright, cool. That's lined up. And then I try to do the same for this one here. There it is. Sorry, I don't know what you guys can hear as far as this audio goes, but I know I can hear it in the thing. But like, all I like to do for this, as far as like matching it up manually, if like let's say your speaker wasn't connected or something like that, what you need to do is just listen to it as like a beat, and then just hit the M key as you do it. You can kind of match it up as far as like waveforms later, as far as like looking at these. But if it was too quiet, it probably wouldn't even look right anyways. 3D artist, but right now just making some boring manual. That does not sound fun. You gotta love the off gigs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for every music video, you know, there's always like some kind of boring corporate video I gotta edit or something like that too, you know? But I guess whatever pays the bills. 3D art's tight though. I need to learn like Blender and Unreal Engine. That's something I'm really trying to like challenge myself this year to learn, is like Blender and Unreal Engine and green screen, like making bigger visual effects or something. I don't know. It could be cool. Alright, cool. Then all these we should be spoiled enough by auto syncing. Boom. See, we love that because we had the speaker in the building. Obviously that's going to allow us to connect, and that's what makes it very easy. Let's see, auto align. Alright, so we still got to color these inside shots too, and then we still got to figure out Obviously, we're doing that. Amazing would be cool. I agree. I agree. Let's see. All right, let's get these other shots color graded. So let's see. One thing I like to do, if I already matched them up, is come into here. I will drag these just to be a little bit like staggered, I guess. And then that way, when we go into the color page, we'll be able to see all of these and kind of like bounce in between them and stuff like that too. So we come into clips, we can see. We're gonna go ahead and roughly take a grade from this, just so that way we can get our nodes. But obviously, we're gonna have to like completely overhaul it because it's completely dark. So let's go ahead and reset our exposure first off. Or is this our? Yeah, no, it's our exposure. Or let's see. Let's grab this one because it's already labeled. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Clean up the node graph. There we go. Reset that. Reset the contrast too. Highlights, I guess, can stay currently, or let's just turn it off. RGB mixer, we're going to turn that, reset it as well. Reset that. Reset the scan. We're kind of just resetting everything. We can leave that currently, but I'm going to delete the lens blur that we had on the outside truck shot. And we can keep the glow, but I'm going to turn it off right now. And actually reset it, because glow kind of like changes room to room or scene to scene, because it depends on how much light is in there, where the light's coming from, and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll kind of like readjust that glow for this scene specifically. But looking at the vector scope, it looks like we're kind of all over the place. Obviously it's green. This isn't my favorite shot. Let's see. Let's do this one first, because I think this one's going to be more of my hero shot. And then that way I can build my look off of this. So like whenever you're working with scenes in the same room, what I always recommend is like find your hero shot, the shot that looks the best, that you like the most, and then use that shot to kind of fuel the coloring for the rest of the video. So we're gonna look for like something like that. Let's go back into waveform. Yeah, so it's definitely overexposed. We're gonna go ahead and just drop down the exposure. Go drop that exposure down. We don't want it to be too crazy. Mo Swims, what up, bro? I literally just mentioned that I would love to watch someone edit, and here you are, absolutely fine. Hey, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you joining in. I'm hoping to go live like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at like 9 p.m. So hopefully you guys like the late night streams too. And of course, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Right now, I am just kind of like editing an old music video that I shot like a long time ago into something new, just because I want to make something cooler. But exposure, we can kind of come into here. Actually, let's add contrast first real quick before we crank the exposure. And that way we can kind of pivot this as well to kind of bring out more of this. And then same thing we did before, we'll turn back on our highlight slider, but it's probably going to be different than what it was before. So let's come into here, Shift H to see what we're actually selecting. We want to grab that face and that shoulder as far as like our brightest parts. That way we can like obviously lessen that. So if we look at his face, we get all of that out, even the money, you know what I'm saying? So that way we're not getting those crazy highlights. And then the exposure, I mean, looks like we're pretty good as far as darks go. He's good. The window, though, I do want to actually change this up to be a little bit more focused on him. And then as we go through movement, we can see what we do. Yeah, I definitely need to learn a workflow. Yeah, most definitely. Which is funny, though, because like now I typically edit my music videos like this, where it's like kind of layer based, you know, and not multicam workflow. But I'm trying to now learn the DaVinci Resolve multicam workflow, so it's going to be kind of like just a complete new learning process. But hopefully in time that actually helps, you know, speed up productivity and stuff like that. We're going to drop that, move this a little bit. All right, so first things first, I'm looking at this. We're going to go ahead and look at our vector scope and look at these colors. It's like pushed way green, yellowish, reddish, I guess. So let's go ahead and come in here. Like I said, the RGB mixer, I love this thing, man. Like I said, this is like your kind of like your cheat tool to like get your colors into a different realm of where you want them to be. What's up, Todd C? Is that a node preset you are? No, it's not a node preset. This is just something I put together currently. But I do occasionally create presets or like power grades. But usually how I go through and like I'll create my grade off of an individual clip, and then I'll save that for the music video into a power grade to like, you know, keep it consistent and stuff like that throughout the video. But I want to say, I mean, I could probably export this as far as like a, you know, a node tree if you guys would find it useful. But like I said, turn on auto for all of these. I'm looking at my greens right now. We're going to go ahead and mess with these just so that way we can see what we can do to get these colors to be more complementary. You see how we're kind of bringing out more red in the skin? We don't want to push that too much, but we're getting like a little bit more separation. And then we can move the blues. We don't want to push that too pink or purpley or greeny. So we're just kind of like going back and forth until we get this sweet spot. But you can kind of see here how like his lips became more red, the teeth become more gold, and we kind of get all that green like gunk out. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, everything looks pretty good. But what I'm going to though, so after contrast, let's add another node. We're gonna label this set for saturation. I like this method here, where you can kind of like just change a specific channel. So if we come in here, color space, we can change it into HSV. Stands for hue, saturation, and value. So hue, first channel, saturation, second channel, value is the third channel. And then from there, if you go into here, click this, once again, go into channels, we're going to turn off channel 1, which is our hue. We're going to turn off channel 3, which is our value, and that just leaves saturation. That way, when we come into our primary wheels and we start pulling our gain, this is going to introduce us just more saturation on a very nice, smooth level. Already looking at it, I mean, it's not, as far as our vector scopes go, it's not too crazy, but it's pretty red in his face. So what we can do is, I will come into here, I'm going to grab his skin, so we're going to go ahead and go into our qualifier. Grab his skin, Shift H, just so that way we can go ahead and see it. I am going to open this up just a bit more until we're not getting the background, but we're getting stuff, and when obviously we have all these blacks and stuff like that in it too. Right here, all of this, we do not want as much of this as possible, so we're going to go ahead and refine this. Take down the luminance a little bit, but we're losing some of the arm. So this is like more of like a give and take type of situation where we are literally just going through here in order to see what looks best. So I'm gonna add some soft, do something like that. That's not too bad. I'm gonna add some denoise though, because it's not the smoothest key because of all this green light bouncing, and then also some blur radius, and that way we can go ahead and get a nice look to it all. And then from there, I'm going to decrease the reds from the midtones and the gamma just a little bit, nothing too crazy. That's probably too much even. Probably just barely, just so that way we can take a little bit of that red out. And we might still have to grab like a selector as far as like the reds or whatever the qualifiers. But that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get our glow reintroduced. So if we come in here, change this back into soft light. Actually, for the ones that just joined, let's go ahead and actually just start this over again. Let's do the glow. Drop this in onto our timeline. I should have dropped it into a node, but we'll just drop it like that. I like to change my advanced controls into soft light. Looks a little crazy. Then from here, though, we can change our shine threshold, and we can adjust that, and that's going to help us look a little bit nicer. But now we need to go ahead and go back into our waveform and see what we're doing, because this is looking insanely contrasty, like crazy. So let's go ahead and take down the gain here. Let's go ahead and up the gamma if we can, maybe. Nah, probably not. Probably not. Let's go ahead and remove just looking right over here, just so that way I can kind of see what we're doing. I mean, I don't really care if like some of that's lost. I just don't want like, you know, beard hair and stuff like that to be lost. There we go. But overall looking pretty good. This is the overall grade. While we have the skin selected too though, I'm going to pull back the mid-tone detail just a little bit. It's just going to soften up the skin tones just a little bit. But now we can come into here and drag those onto all of our clips by selecting them and then just clicking your mouse wheel on top of the actual clip you want to copy that specific like grade from. So that way we make our grade on this clip, which is our hero shot, and then are able to drag this onto our other clips and kind of get a consistent look, you know, because it is shot literally in the same room with the same lighting pretty much. Just depends on the positioning of it all. But I like that. This shot needs some work though. I think it's just the exposure. We need to open this up a bit. It's not bad. Wonder what the skin qualifier is looking like on this. Not bad either. So yeah, I mean, it kind of carries over to everything. We'll leave it something like that for now. Alright, so we need to figure out this shot. Let's see if we can do this without windows. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and take this. Clean up. Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so looking at it, obviously it's like super blue. I mean, like, do we care about the sky? Like, in all reality, like, if I had like a bigger budget for this shoot, I would have had like a big ass light off to the side of the truck or something like that bouncing in, or at least like a big ass reflector on another car bouncing that sunlight back into there, because I just knew the way we were going. I should have just switched it around, but we were trying to get this building in. It was just, I don't know. It was a lot, but we're just going to, I think, sacrifice the sky in order to get our performers, because we don't want them dark, you know? What is that? That's our exposure. Contrast. We need to correct this though real quick. Let's go ahead and actually go back into a first node. Well, second node, I guess, you know, after our highlight recovery, we could turn that off as well. Let's just turn everything off. And actually, while we're doing this, we might as well, let's see, because this is not labeled. I wonder if we can just take this real quick. Yeah, we'll just work off of this just so that way we have like our labels. Let's go back into this. Where is this shot at? What are we doing? Turn this off. Let's just work on this one real quick, and then we'll go back and then match the other one. Let's see. So exposure. I mean, it's just like, really, it's just this. Let's just add a window. Where is that window? Let's grab it. Pop it around here. Let's go ahead and rotate this thing. Drop this in, and then from here, though, I'm going to go ahead and track. That way we just get like a nice like big open window, you know, we can just smooth it or whatever, you know, as far as like our exposure goes, create an outside for the inside of that thing. Damn, y'all see the way it's tracking right now, like three-dimensionally? That's crazy. I swear it wasn't like that like a month ago, you know? That's nice. That tracking is like flawless. Who else edits in DaVinci Resolve? Ooh, I don't know why I was trying to go to that clip. Yeah, run it back, run it back, run it back. It's 10 people in here right now. Very nice, very nice. How was everyone's Monday going while we're waiting for this tracking? There we go, not bad. All right, let's just create this outside right now. Then from here, we're gonna go ahead and just drop the exposure. I'm gonna make this drastic, make it insanely like soft. Is that 3D tracking? Right. That's what I swear too, because like I swear before it wasn't 3D tracking, but it was definitely moving with the parallax. That thing was stuck on there. But yeah, like DaVinci, you can like mask anything. You could like put it on faces and stuff like that. It'll track it. But like I swear it's gotten better. And also, can I learn color grading or color correction and grading? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, like, what kind of camera do you work on? I guess first off, because I know I learned my color correction from working with like an 8-bit Sony camera for so long. And it was just super hard working with that camera, and it kind of taught me how to use DaVinci to get the most out of my footage and kind of correct problems from terrible 8-bit footage, you know? Most said I do, but recently trying out Premiere. I want to use both though, one for editing and the other color grading. Definitely, yeah, it's a good workflow. I see lots of people doing that all the time. Really, it's just whatever you can work in. I know before I switched to DaVinci, I edited in Premiere for like 5 years, I think, before I switched to DaVinci, and now I've been on here for like 6 years. And I will never go back. Let's see, let's add this. We're going to go ahead and add the outside like I said, and then that way now with these, it's like a little bit softer and we're bringing attention, but then it does look a little bit noticeable, so we're going to drag that out just a little bit more, drag it in a little bit more, and a little more soft, but that's not too bad. It helps bring attention, but then we still do need to increase the contrast in here. So I wonder if we can, on the outside, increase the contrast, and we're messing with the pivot. Obviously this is going to, I think, still ultimately just destroy our sky. And then also looking at the blacks in this situation, it looks like a little pink or purpley, like here. What we can do is kind of zoom in and correct it. First things first, if we come into here, go into our qualifier, we can look at it, and looking at our, it's not too far off. It's obviously a little bit more red and bluish than green, so we can actually neutralize this. Let's do this before the window. And then from here, this is what I like to do as far as like, so we're talking about color correction and color grading. This is like a really, really big tip for like subtle changes, right? Because obviously you want, for color correction, you want like black blacks, you want white whites, and you want skin tones to be where skin tones are, right? I like this because you can come into here. There's this thing called log wheels. This is going to be like changing your lift, shadows, gains, all that kind of stuff. Very, very tiny. So if we come into here, obviously we know like by looking at our forms down here that has more red and blue. So we can come into here and actually just add more green into our blacks, and that's going to increase it. Decrease the blues a little bit, decrease the reds a little bit, and we're just doing a little pull, a little push in order to get this down into a neutral black color. If I can, let's see, let's just even do something like that. There we go. So you see how like that's like immediately like, so we're talking about good color correction, right? So just removing problems pretty much. Most I don't have the studio version. It really needs some good masks. No, I feel you, man. Like it's definitely like because like I don't like Adobe's like monthly thing, and I paid that $300 for one time DaVinci Studio. You know, it's definitely worth it. But I feel it. It's a lot. It's a big chunk. But yeah, man, like the masks in here are crazy. But then it is crazy because like I do miss Premiere for like keyframing. I like Premiere's keyframing more than DaVinci's for sure. But masks, man, in this program it's just a game changer. But that's corrected, so like it looks a little nicer. But I think we're good. I mean, we can definitely see the sway of that mask, though. You see how crazy it is. So when we get it in performance, we'll kind of see what it looks like because it looks a little jarring right now. But we won't let this stop us for now. Let's go ahead and come into here and do this, so we can kind of see just the differences between here. So like this is like kind of like the color correction, very, very blue, and then we went through and we like neutralized it to make it kind of like normal looking as far as everything goes. Do this, we will, let's see, I guess we can try to track the mask here too. So same idea, we can just kind of go back into here, turn off the qualifier, we need our window, make this bigger, and then same idea, you can just hit this, track, no hands, you know what I'm saying? Mask, window, track, no hands. It just does it, you know what I'm saying? I swear all the tools in DaVinci are crazy. But now I guess like all these editing programs are getting all the AI tools and stuff like that, so it's all getting nicer. I can't lie. I like these AI tools for this type of stuff because why should we have to sit here and go and track this mask manually for like a 2-minute song? Not happening. Alright, there it goes. Messed up at the end, like completely. Don't know why it's tracking that one. Alright. Oh, that is that one. Okay, we're good. Alright, and then yeah, we're just going to have to mess with the windows, I guess, as we go through, and we'll see. Because I honestly don't even like that shot. But we have this now. Let's go ahead and just compile all this together now. All of our shots are kind of graded. All of our shots are matched up, so we're going to go ahead and take all this. If you hit Control-Alt-LL, that's going to link and unlink all the media, and you can just delete all the music. That way, we don't even need it. I'm going to condense all of this. Condense, and this music video, I wish I had more performance scenes, but like I said, it was like a story-driven video, so like we weren't even really planning on performing too much. So this will be kind of an interesting one because we got to kind of figure out how we fill in a whole. I mean, the song's not too long, 3 minutes, but 3 minutes and not make it boring. You know, luckily we do have a lot of B-roll and still some story stuff to work through as well that we can use. But all right, so that's our basic timeline. We got our basic color grading down, so that way everything is good to go. Let's go ahead and actually just drag this back out. Whoops, I forgot about all these. So let's just drag these back up real quick, and then drag these over, extend them to their fullest potential. That way we get all of our clips. Now, if we really want to use the AI masking crop feature or whatever you'd call it, yeah, for sure, it's just so fire. Have you heard of? Well, I'm sure Premiere has it too. But look at this too. We got this magic mask. I think Premiere has it now too. What would be a good example for this? Maybe it is, but it's not. Yeah, sure. All right. So this is another tool I like to look at and use. It's called Magic Mask. We're gonna add a node after this, and we can come into here. We're gonna go ahead and find a shot where he is primarily in frame, and then from here we can click it, We'll go into better, and then also we want to click this so we can actually see our mask, but we can click him and everything up front. We'll just add a bunch of points just so that way it can't mistake it. There we go. And then from here though, we can go ahead and track. This is going to do its thing. But yeah, ultimately with this magic mask, you can do whatever you want. Yo, what's up, Nate T? Appreciate you joining in. Add an angle, XF keyframes. Add an angle, XF keyframes. What's the disable clip hotkey you're using? I'm using Control D for the disable clip. Yeah, right. You see that magic mask? You see the way it's tracking this shit? It's crazy, man. Like crazy. And this shit will go through here and do it for the whole thing. And it's like not even picking up on anything. It's kind of crazy. My bad, Nate T. I'm trying to see what you're trying to say. Add an angle. XF keyframes. But yeah, I think it's what D and Control D pretty much to disable and re-enable. I can't remember if that was a shortcut I set up when I first got into this or not. But yeah, so you see some of this is picking up some shit in the background, but for the most part, I think with the lighting, like it's pretty in there. Fucking everybody's sick. Yeah, for real, man. Like this magic mask shit is crazy. Go to the Fusion tab and add, XF effect. Okay, bet. Just what, as like a separate node onto the media? Okay, let's go ahead and stop this real quick so you can kind of just see it, because I'm not going to actually use a magic mask, but we can kind of see the power of this right now. So with this here, what we can go ahead and do is actually invert this, and then from here we can like drop the exposure of the background. You know what I'm saying? We kind of got a clean key, whatever we really want to do, you know. Or if you just want to like come into here, invert it again. We need to go back here because it just lost its track. So yeah, magic mask is finicky, but ultimately you get the idea. Very cool tool. All right, let's see what this XF effect is. Fusion. Let's see, XF. Oh, what, the transform node? Oh, for like the like zoom ins and stuff. Gotta get into DaVinci. Yeah, for real though, man. I'm telling you, especially we're gonna do like an episode 2 where we go into Fusion. And, like this is other rock band music video. I kind of want to re-edit and like do some more green screen and Fusion work. But once you see all this type of stuff, it's so crazy. Yes, sir. I don't really use this that much. What, we got motion in here and stuff like that, or nah? Let's see what size. We got our aspect, that angle. What's up, Nate? How we using this thing, man? Give me some tips. What we got? Man, I might spend at 300. That one feature I need doing manually sucks. Nah, for real, man. Like I'm telling you, like it's not even just that. There's so much in here. Like even if you want to track like eyes, like it's just crazy the tools that are in this program, all for free, or not for free, but for that $300 one-time cost. Like they'll give you all this shit. Keyframe angle and play with it. Okay, bet. Let's see. Yeah, this garage was so hot. Let's see, play with the angle. I'm gonna keyframe this as well as far as size and position goes, just so that way if I do want to change it. Let's see. Oh, got you with like the digital. Whoosh. Yeah, it's pretty fire. Keyframe angle and play with it. Yeah, it's fire. Yeah, because then what we could push in, right when he says that, then from there, let's go ahead and do another keyframe. Yeah, that's fire. I gotta mess with that. How long does it usually take you to do some of that? Something like, I guess, as far as like keyframing a bunch of angles and stuff like that. With just the roto, can you do that with just the roto? Or the mask that you were doing? Only the singer. So yeah, I mean, you can do anything. Like, man. All right, hold on. Let me blow your mind real quick with this one. Let's see. Let's go ahead and come into here. Let's go ahead into B-roll. Let's find a good example real quick. Something that's crazy as fuck. All right, let's see. I need someone holding something specific. I mean, I guess money works. All right, let's see. Let's drag this shot in here real quick. Yeah, that shit did look dope. I'm gonna have to mess with that because I do like more energetic camera movements. I do like sometimes dynamic zooms, but that's kind of like the lazy way of doing it, you know? Let's see. All right, so with this magic mask, let's say, trying to find a good example. Let's say even like just this shot here, right? We're gonna go ahead and just copy this grade. That should look terrible. Oh, because I gotta right click it. We're gonna go ahead and do input color space. We have to do this for our clips. We're gonna go ahead and go into Sony. Boom, there we go. All right, we're back in it. And then let's see. So what, even magic mask, we can, let's say like that money for whatever reason is just like not looking right. I'm gonna cut this for the clip's sake. Just here, here. But then from here though, you can come into here, color. We'll add our node again. Clean up. And then we're gonna go ahead and just select the money, right? Just the money, not even the artist, just the money. Come into here, better, boom, money selected. Then from there, we're gonna go ahead and just track that. And then if you want to, like, you could cut this out, you could do whatever you want with it. It's super dope. Use it for real estate videos to transition out with speed ramps. Ooh, that's tight. That's something I've been trying to learn is speed ramp transitions. I'm a little educated in it, but I definitely have a lot to learn. Do you do YouTube, Nate? Because I need to figure out like speed ramping better, you know. But yeah, from here though, if you want to like, I mean, do anything, you know what I'm saying? This is where you can kind of maybe even add effects with Magic Mask. Let's say with it, we can do another node. Let's say we want to glow, and then we can put the alpha to this node here, and then at that point, let's see, let's change this to what add. I want to say there we go, and then boom. So already, just with that here, what happened? Oh, it's just this clip here. Let's go back into here. All right, it's tracked. So yeah, just like that, boom, already just tracked, you know what I'm saying? So you can do like effects, you can do like glitchy stuff, you know, but you can just track individual objects. Is super tight. Please do something with that. Want to really see it, like VFX or something, not in the grading section. Yeah, I got you. Got you. Let's see. So let's go ahead and just come into here. Let's do, watch, I'll show you. I got an idea. Let's do what I need. It's a story shot. I really like the exiting shot here. So let's take this into here, drag it towards the beginning. Take it just something like this. And then let's just grab our other shot real quick of guys coming down. This shit, man, he almost ate it, man. He came down, almost fucking went flying. It's not good, not good. Looking for the best shot. Probably this one. I like this one. Or maybe it's that one. Comes, smacks the guy, smacks the guy. Let's just do this one for the sake of it. Alright, so what we can do, let's say we come up here. Let's see. Shit opens up. Dude hops out. He turns. Let's just take it right here. Let's see, I don't like the way he ducks through that door, so let's just go ahead and just take it like that. Grab another shot from the outside. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I used in actually the main video. So you said a glitch effect or something? Alright, cool, I got you. Let's just take this real quick. I'll show you kind of what I have in mind. Let's say we have this guy here. Let's go ahead and actually just select these clips. Take this grade, and then from here though, go ahead and actually select our color space. Input color space, Sony S-Log3. And then from here, we're going to increase this. Magic Mask works one of two places though, so we're going to grab the Magic Mask from this section, and I'll show you how that works in the edit page, right? So let's just take this right here, where he kind of just comes out. Add our Magic Mask. Let's go ahead and just select him. I wonder how far it would take it. Let's see, better. Let's grab our guy here. We're going to track it. Just see what this looks like. As he kind of stands there, I want to do like a cool ass like glitch, or maybe even when he smacks him or something like that, we could do a glitch. I'll show you what I mean. Look at that. Even with camera moving, it's still trying to track him and not getting these guys. I should have just cut this clip though. It's about the rotor that I want to see. Yeah, I got you. Just maybe on a gun. I want to see how good the roto is. Got you. Got you, got you. Oh, so you just want to see like just the cutout. I got you. So yeah, so let's take this out real quick. Go into color. Then from here, though, you just need to create an alpha output. That will get our cutout. And we got this guy in the scene right now. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, you know? Crazy. Obviously, we see some of the, like right here. So what we can do is go back into the color page. Okay, man, I'm going to buy it. Yes, let's go, man. Another DaVinci. So yeah, trying to grab the truck right here. So we can just click it. Minus. We just want to minus the truck. It'll retrack it. And it's still going to get it. So we're going to do this a couple of times. But let's go back. And then, whoops. You can just go frame by frame here. And the easiest way is just like each time this kind of comes back into play, just retrack it. Stop it. Go back. And then honestly what you can do is just come into here and we're just trying to deselect just these bits. And then they also added a tool where you can kind of like paint it out too, but it takes a little bit longer. And I'll show you how to clean up that edge too. But then from here, we're going to go ahead and retrack it. See, so it takes those markers into account, does this thing, and then from there, though, I'll show you what you can do as well, like on the back end of it too. It's kind of crazy. I guess let's just let it finish, let it do its thing, and then I'll show you, like, I don't know, it opens up like pretty much infinite possibilities. You can even do like kind of like VFX workflows with it. It's kind of crazy. But like I said, he's cut out. But let's say we keep this on. So let's say we want to do like, I don't know, a title or something like that. We can drop this in, drop it in between. And then from here, we're going to do what? Mr. Big Shot. And then we got our text here. And we're going to make this bigger. Let's see this like this. Make it bigger. Let's also raise it up just a bit. And then that way, you know, he's kind of there doing his thing. Let's get this text changed though. Definitely need something a little nicer. And then we can go into Fusion as well if you want to make it a little bit cooler. Looking for maybe like a thick font, something. Mr. Big Shot, that's not too bad. It looks a little like bubbly though. I think it's kind of weird for the video. One more like edgy. Huh. I need more fonts, low key. There we go. Impact. Mr. Big Shot. Alright, tight. But then from here though, even if we wanted to do like I like an effect like this where it like comes into here, we can do like what, generative or what here, video transitions. You could do anything, so we're talking like glitches. So you can add on a transition underneath all of this with the alpha, and then we start getting some stuff like this with him keyed out. Obviously it's chugging along. But then at that point, it kind of gives you tons of options as far as like how you introduce effects and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. We'll leave that for now. I don't like that shot. Let's just stick with this one real quick. Take this. Let's link clips, delete it. All of these. If we Control-Alt-LL. Sick. Yeah, no problem, man. Definitely recommend it. If you have any questions on Magic Mask, let me know. Tons of YouTube videos on it too. It's just like a really, really cool tool. Because I didn't do rotoscoping before this, honestly. No one was paying me enough for it, and plus it just took too much time. But now you can kind of roto whatever you want pretty instantly. It's just crazy. Tight. And then we could do like maybe like a glitchy effect or something like that. And then also what we could do, I wonder if, what, this clip, I have an idea. Planar tracker. So I want to try and pin something to the to that truck door. So we're going to come into here, planar tracker, and add the node to here, and we're going to try to get this to cooperate and track up. So we change this into hybrid point perspective, track, set, and then go. We're going to track forward. And then it's probably going to get lost in the door or the shadow up here. Yep, there it goes. Let's see. I wonder if we could do... Is it even going with it? Yeah, it is. Tight. And then we can do like a cut right before. Let's just take this. Cut it here. And let's get this last little bit. Let's come into here. Let's actually adjust this so that way we can get it right where it is picked up. So probably like mid handle right there. Drag it probably right about there. And then that way we can kind of cut back and forth between these angles and see what we're doing. Yeah, and it kind of cuts a little bit jarringly. I wish that guy didn't duck right there. Wonder if I could. So there's a clap right there. There we go. See, we could even do something to where like he smacks this guy, because obviously that shit did not connect at all. But we could do something like this. Look for like a glitch. And try to, like, you know, hide it. And then that way it's like he smacks him and it looks nice, you know, and it's like, oh man, that guy got smacked, you know. But then we could do something like, ooh, watch this. So we could even do something like, let's see. Let's take, all right, so we're gonna take right here, right here. Because I want that van really bad in the shot, because then we could do like a continuation of it. Alright, let's see. Let's go into here. I wonder if we could do a duplication, right? We'll do a duplication right when this shit goes off frame. There we go. We'll create another alpha on top of this shit to hide it, and we got it. Alright, so let's reset this. Let's do better. Let's click the van. Just a bunch of point clicks. We don't want this though. There we go. Alright, let's track it. Let's see here. Ooh, he got selected too. Now he's not selected. That sucks. Looks like some of the van's not selected. So looks like this is struggling more with the van for sure than like the person. But let's go ahead and see if this would work anyways. I just kind of want to see what it would look like. So that way, yeah. So we'll just do something like that to where like, boom, the text goes behind the bus. And then it's just, we're cutting off. So we'll go like that. Make it shorter because it doesn't have to be anything crazy. And then just drag this to be, smacks him, turns, boom. Text gone. But we'll probably still right there ish on the cut all this, and then now we got our nice little intro. We'll worry about the text later, and we still got a lot to do right here as far as like filling in. Alright, cool, and we'll stop it right here. And then we could mix all the B-roll for sure throughout this entire video, throughout everything throughout this. See what we're looking like. Probably right about here, I think this performance starts. Ooh, those digital push on, man. All right, I see you. That shit is nice. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess with that for sure. That is nice. I like it. And fusion. All right, let's just leave that here. Let's just go back into here so we can see what footage we have. So we got our story. Let's kind of like, I guess, lay that in for those bits. We'll get the guy coming into the truck. Take care of that. Let's see here. All right, guys, I'm going to be on for like another 18 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask right now before I wrap this up here. This camera's about to die too. I need another battery in this thing, but hopefully it doesn't die beforehand, and it'll last us this 18 minutes, you know. But I doubt it. Cameras always want to die. All right. Let's select the color space, Sony, send it 3, and then from here we're going to try to select the same thing. Very blue in the truck though, but that's clean on the outside though. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. But it's still just a little blue though. Just a little blue. Let's see if we can take some blues out the shadows. Take some greens out the shadows. All right, we're just like we're barely balancing it, but that looks better though. It's like actually green money, green fake money. Hold on, y'all. This camera's about to die. Let me just replace this battery right now. All right, there we go. Quick switches, you know. All right, what are we doing? Let's see. So we got that shot. So I guess we're still just trying to build our intro. So dude comes in. We need him like right here in the middle of the action. Cut it. Let's see. Let's go back into story. Let's see if we got our like a cop shot or something, or maybe because what we got the driver paranoid. Dude over here throwing money out. I like that shit. We got with the performance. Because we need to chop up into some story bits. Let's see. I kind of want to get like an introduction. Nah, because we've got... Yeah, let's just take a little bit of this. Let's just introduce the cops. And then that way at least we know they exist. Let's do something like this. Let's do right when that shit kicks on. Boom. All right. Tight. All right, tight. So we got something like that. I don't know if I'm 100% on it. Let's go ahead and actually see if we can stabilize this real quick. Let's do a camera lock perspective. And see. Okay. See what we're looking like. Nah, that shit's bouncing around. Let's do translation. There we go. Nah, that shit looks funky. Alright, we're gonna have to stabilize this some other way. We can try this, or let's try not camera locking it. See if we have any better luck. Yeah, there we go. Let's take this a little bit more. There we go. Cool. Restabilize. And we're moving. So let's do something like this. I want to do... something like this. Let's cut this. Let's do our zoom in real quick first, and then we're going to mirror that and duplicate it backwards. Cut it off. Now cut it, click it, and then we can do swap the dynamic zoom. There we go. Let's see, let's do something like this where it's like a shocking shot where it's like everyone's checking and shit, still wondering what's going on. Like this click maybe. No, it's too quick. We need to see. I wish he would have just kept his head. Yeah, maybe we could do something like that. Get rid of this. There we go. Alright, what other shots do I have? What that shit? Let's take this, unlink it, pop this over here. We'll use that shot for something different. Let's do something like this. Move that. And then what we got? Cheddar cheese, get the guap. Alright, so we need to get, I want to do his breakout scene. Let's see, we'll break this up into sections, I think. Or no, it's probably just all one continuous scene. So let's just get like here. There we go. Grab this. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got to do as far as filling in this. So when I'm building music videos, I need to figure out, because like I said, this video does not have that much performance scenes, and of course, like, we made it even better because we split how it was actually shot. But yeah, so we can definitely go ahead and continue this. I think I'm gonna hop off here soon. We got like 10 more minutes, so if you guys want to ask questions, feel free to ask now, and then that way we can go ahead and finish this. Like I said, I'll be back live on Wednesday. I want to start doing something too where it's called like Pimp My Footage or something like that too, where it's like you guys, as you know, people that watch, can submit footage to me to color grade for me to edit together and for me to show you guys what you can get out of your footage, especially if you're trying to learn like color correction or color grading. It could be a really good opportunity to see how you can get your footage and stuff like that used, you know what I'm saying, like the most out of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then that way, of course, we can improve skills off of footage that you guys are actually using. But then also, if you guys would like, you know, project footage as far as like this stuff goes too, if you guys would like to work alongside with me as far as these lives go, definitely just let me know. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys, for this live stream today. We got a pretty decent ways through, and we got performance laid out. We got our colors together. Not too bad. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that. Like I said, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, catch you guys later.